So I've got some brake, basically it's ceramic high performance synthetic lubricant for brake parts, metal and metal to rubber contact areas, if you can see that there. So I'm just going to squirt a little bit of that in each hole. That'll be when I put my when I put my cleaned caliper pins back in. I'll give it a nice new lubrication in there. Alright, now I'm going to get a bungee cord and we're going to strap that up so it doesn't hang. And what I mean by it doesn't hang is I mean it doesn't hang from the hose, because you never want this to hang by the hose. Now it can damage the hose. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take this bungee cord here that I've got, small bungee, and I'm basically just going to bungee this back up to itself, and this way it will just hang. As you can see, got it hanging from a nice little bungee cord here, so it's not hanging by the hose. Okay, so to remove these two bolts here, you're going to need a 13mm socket. And again, to the left, just loosen those up. You should be able to, depending on how many times and how well you keep everything lubricated on your car, those should just pop off real easy. Okay, now we're going to need a small Allen for that. So you take your 5mm Allen and just go ahead and crack that loose. Okay, once you remove that, you can set that down. Now you might have to take a little sledgehammer, plastic mallet, and tap around on this rotor to remove it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now, if you're not going to reuse the rotors, you can hit them as hard as you want with a sledgehammer, right? But I might, depending on how good they are, I may end up keeping them. We'll see. So I'm going to use the rubber mallet for now. It's actually a plastic mallet. Sometimes you have to hammer from behind it. Sometimes you have to spray a little PV blaster in here. Well, we're not having a lot of luck with the plastic mallet. It's probably frozen pretty good to there. So that's made my decision for me. I'm going to go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my metal. I don't know if this is like a 1-pound sledge or what you call this, but I'm going to go ahead and loosen it up with this. There we go. So I didn't damage any of this, but I was able to whack here, and now it's free. So you could still reuse this rotor. It's still in pretty good shape. Not too bad. You know what I like to do is I like to take some sandpaper or a wire brush and clean off this hub assembly, and then I use some anti-seize on that to prevent that from rusting and getting seized on again on the rotor. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take these little clips off here, and you can use whatever tool you like, but usually a screwdriver or a hammer, something like that will take it off. And you also want to clean this off too. You want to get all this rust off of here. So I'll use a wire brush on that. So I'm going to remove that as hardware. And we have new hardware for that. Okay, so I've got some sandpaper. We'll try that first and just see how clean we can get it. And you can see that actually takes off quite a bit of the rust. You're never going to get all the rust off, and I know that. But you want to get as much as you can off. Alright, then I'm going to clean these brake pad mounting points. Same thing. This one's not too terribly rusty. I bought this car in Baltimore. Drove it all the way back to Chicago. That's how much I love ML320s. And again, you're not going to get all the rust off there, but I think that's pretty darn good there. I've cleaned the top one off as well up here. Alright guys, so what you're going to do next, I'm going to take some anti-seize, and you're just going to, what I like to do is I like to coat all the spots. Don't get it in the threads, because you don't want to anti-seize in your bolt hole threads. You can actually put it in this one though, the small mounting one, that's okay. But everywhere else, just kind of go around those and apply a thin coat, just like that. The other thing you want to do is take that same anti-seize and coat this whole mounting knuckle here, because you're going to put new hardware over top of it, and you want to prevent that from rusting as much as possible. So we're going to do the same thing up here. Next thing you want to do, install your new hardware. You're just basically going to take this hardware, you're going to reinstall it over top of the knuckle here. Just make sure everything lines up. Press that down on there so it fits nice and snug, just like that. Same thing on this one. You want to get that nice and snug on there. Make sure it fits nicely. Take your new rotor, but go ahead and reinstall that on there. That, line it up with the holes. Take your bolt, put that, thread that in there to hold it in place, just like that. Now I see I got some grease on the rotor already, and I have to clean that off, so I'll do that in a second. But just go ahead and make sure that that's located in the right spot. Tighten it down, and you're good there. I want to get these pins that we had from before. Just clean those off really good. You can use brake cleaner. Sometimes just rubbing them really good with a rag can take off the old grease. And as you can see, we've got the new grease in there already. So basically, you can do it one of two ways. You can take it and go backwards and just push it all the way back through, which is not a problem. You can do that, and you can see as it comes out on the bottom, it's perfectly lubricated. Perfectly. Whatever, I have a bunch of extra here now, so I'm just gonna take this, kind of stick it in there. Same thing, push it back through. And I'll have a bunch of extra come out on the other side, and that's fine, because we can reuse it. As you can see, we've got these points here where our brake pads are going to ride. So I'm going to lubricate those up at the top here and here. And that's going to help our brake pads as they move in and out. So you're going to lube that up. That's pretty much it. Now the next part's pretty easy. Just going to put those new brake pads in. You can do one of them while it's still hanging. I'm just going to stick it in. Yeah, like this. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see it better on the camera. I'm just going to hang on to this caliper so it doesn't hang from the hose. But let's see if we can adjust the camera a little bit better here. Alright, so you're just going to just grab the two ears here and just push it in. Might have to push up here a little bit till it kind of fits in. There you go, it snaps into place. Perfect. Now the other one is pretty simple too. You're just going to take this and slide it. Sometimes you kind of got to pry down a little bit like that to pop it in. Once these kind of catch the top, then you could pull down on the bottom like that. Pull down on the bottom there, snap those into place. And just make sure they lock in. Now they're locked in. All right, guys, I forgot to show you the wear sensors. This is a front and back kit. The one we're going to be installing is that white one right there. I'm going to show you. I forgot to show you first, so we're going to do it now. Where to install this, and I usually install it down here on the bottom, which will actually be, well, I shouldn't say the bottom. I'm going to install it on the top. This is the tool storage top, and that way it's close enough to where it plugs in on the back here. But basically you slip this sensor through here like that, okay? And then there's a little tiny, I don't know if you could see that, it's like a little C-clip, and that just goes right on top of there. And then basically you're gonna just push it down and lock it in. Alright? Then once your brake pad wears down and it touches on this, that will send that signal through to your dash and tells you that you need brake pads. So now we've got that on, we can go ahead and reinstall everything. Then what you're gonna do, just make sure your hose isn't twisted in the back here. All right, and then you're going to slide the top of the brake pad over the edge of it, like that. And you see how that piece slips underneath. Let's get a straight on view here if we can. Okay, that's gonna go in first. Then you're gonna just rotate it down slowly like this until the brake pads on the bottom, let's get a view of that, rest on that knuckle. But what you'll have to do is you kind of have to push up on this so that you can see that kind of fits into that little groove. Sometimes you got to push down on that, and then you should be able to, depending on, make sure these pins, and it looks like I accidentally pushed one of the pins back through on the opposite side. We have to push that out of the way. Basically that's out of the way. Go ahead and adjust this, and then there you go. Boom! It's in the spot it needs to be. So you can see how that fits in there, just like that. See if I can show you the bottom, kind of on a sideways angle here, but that's how the back goes. All right. Now what you want to do, tighten up those pins with your TX30. With this one, just go ahead and put that in the back, okay? And just push the pin as far in as it will go, and then just start to kind of rotate it until you feel it lock, go into the hole. It can be a little tricky, I'll be honest. It's usually best if you have like a ratchet on it and you can really get a little pressure on it. But sometimes you just kind of start cranking it down and it'll start threading in. And again, just don't forget it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and when you're looking at it from the front, it's reverse on the back. All right, so just get your TX30 on there. Make sure you're going the right direction. All right, now that one's nice and tightened down. We'll do the same thing on the bottom back here. And we're just gonna go ahead and, again, tighten this down. Now, I don't use any kind of torque on these. I just do them nice and snug. I don't go too crazy. But what I do is I do it at what I feel is tight. And in 20 years of doing this, I've never had a caliper fall off. Not that there's a first time for everything, right? All right, now you want to reinstall these. I almost think this is like some sort of debris cutter. I'm not exactly sure what they call it. We're just going to go ahead and reinstall those bolts with this. And don't forget that's a 13 millimeter. Just tighten those down. Here it is. Okay, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And you just take that wire, okay, go ahead and plug that in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug it in, just like that. Make sure my wire's kind of out of the way here. Don't need a lot of tools. TX30, 13 millimeter, and a T5 Allen. It's really all you need, and some brake grease and a screwdriver. And that's it, guys, you're complete. I've already gone and done the other side as well. Let me show you that. Same exact concept, looks exactly the same. It's a pretty easy job to do. Once you've done it a couple times, you should be able to do it in under an hour. I don't know what Mercedes is charging for a front brake job. My guess is $500 to $800, something in that price. You're paying for the $110 an hour labor or whatever it costs, so, and parts. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out Bendix. I appreciate them giving me the brakes. I hope you guys will appreciate, one of you will appreciate getting them in the mail very soon. And keep watching the videos. I've got a lot more things planned. So thanks again for watching Joe Snowmobiles. I hope this video helped you. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, click the little bell, otherwise you won't be notified when I do upload a new video. And we'll see you next time.